Day 2, the challenge continues. So, it is actually a couple of days after I slid the engine under there. I had to go over to the shop yesterday. I needed tyres on the Mini, and I've got a buddy over there, so went over to get the tyres fitted, and got back mid-afternoon, and it was really a little bit too late to start on it. But you may notice, yeah, lenses arrived. They were here waiting for me, so I stuck them on. The other thing that I've done is, as well, temporarily, is, yeah, I've put the side glass in. Now, it doesn't have any of the rubber fittings or anything. I still need to repair the top of this door, but I decided, let's just put it in and get it out of the way. So, yeah, today we're getting back to getting that installed. So, yeah, I'm just going to move it out, just kind of refamiliarise myself with where I was at. I think the only thing I had left to do, oh, I know one thing I do have to do. I put some fuel in the gas tank the other day, and it's not draining, it's not pumping out. You can't pump it out. So I'm going to pop the little doodah fitting off the bottom of the tank, drain the gas, that's what I've got that for, and then just see what's up, see why it's not coming out. The other thing is, as well, I may as well just put the battery cables onto the engine before I slide it back in there. So let's get this pulled out. We'll get this gas tank checked out first of all, and then we'll move on. So definitely plugged up. Yeah, we'll clean this out, give it a good clean up, and then we'll get it back on and get the fuel pipe back on there. Okay, fuel lines are back in. Yeah, whatever. It's I caught it before I got the engine and everything in, so we're good there. I've just put the battery leads on. This one, this was made up a while back for another project, and I didn't use it, so it's going to be used on here. Yeah, it might be a little overkill for the VW, but it's brand new. It's a really heavy duty cable, so you know, let's just use it. There's no point in buying having another set of cables made up when I've already got a really good top quality one there. I've got to sort the grounds out. I nearly forgot to put them on, but I'm going to sort them out next. And yeah, we'll be ready to slide it under there. Okay, so I now have all the rubber seal and everything put on. I have the battery cables on. Like I said, these may seem like a little bit of overkill, but they were made up for another project that didn't happen. They're very good cables, so why not use them? You know, I've got them. Yeah. So, what else? Yeah, we're basically there. Oh, one thing I've had to order the actual nut that goes onto the clutch cable. Now it's a wing nut, but it's got a domed rear. The one that's in the box anyway, it's not the correct one. I don't know what it's off. It was just in the box of bolts and everything that came with this, so I have actually ordered one. It seems to be an odd, I think might even be an M7 thread on the cable, because I've got M6 and M8 nuts. M8's too big, M6 is too small, so that leaves M7. Anyway, I've ordered one, and it'll be here middle of the week, but that doesn't stop us from putting this in. So yeah. Okay, so there's the basic plan. Got a ratchet strap on the back there. I'll put two more on the front. I'm basically going to just raise it a little bit at the back, a little bit at the front, a little bit at the back. Now, because of the snout on the back of the transmission, it does have to go up first. because it has to hook over the rear axle cross member. So I will be taking it up kind of like where we're at like that angle, and once that's over then I can bring the rear up. And yeah, I think it'll work. It either will or it won't. Yeah, anyway, let's continue. So that's it, she's completely suspended now. So I'll move the little cart out, and I think I'll raise the rear a little bit more, and then we'll start working on the snout and getting the rear of it up into place. So that, yeah, what more can I say? So what I've been doing is raising it with the jack, taking the slack up on the ratchet straps either side. I was originally thinking about using the ratchet straps to actually ratchet it up, but I decided no, let's just lift it with the jack. Then I tighten the ratchet straps a little bit, lift it with the jack a little bit more, tighten it with the ratchet straps. Now what I need to do is I need to get the snoot up a little bit. I'm happy with these ones either side here at the front, so I need to be able to angle this back end up some, and then I'm just going to move back and forth until I get it up into place. Now you may notice the engine is sitting a little bit further back. That's because I need to clear that cross member. Slowly but surely we're inching our way up there. What I'm going to do now is I am going to get the snoot lifted, and it should clear the cross member. Then I'll strap that up into place. I will then take the weight on the back here on the jacks, and I'll move the straps from around the heat exchangers to the actual mounting points, and then that, as I lift, it'll push the engine back. So the snoot is now actually sitting above the cross member. I've got it strapped and I've got that jack there just to be 100% sure. Now I'm going to move to the rear and start raising the rear and moving it forward. So here we go. So we've run into a little bit of an issue. The pipes are actually up against the bumper, and it's not allowing the engine to go right in. So I'm going to pop the bumper off, and we'll have to modify it. That's okay, it doesn't matter. I'm good with that. Houston, we have an engine. It's in. It is in. Still going to go around, tighten everything up. But I've got a bolt to go in on that side on the exhaust mount, not exhaust, yeah, engine mount. But she's in. You may notice I have removed the rear bumper. Yeah, I have run into an issue. The pipes actually hit the rear bumper, so I am going to have to modify it. I think did I mention it? I don't even know if I shot that bit. Anyway, so rear bumper does have to be addressed, but we have an engine and transmission installed. I'm happy. I am very, very happy with this. So let's go around and get the rest of this hardware put in and tightened up, and we can start making electrical connections. Now, a couple of things. Clutch cable. I think I mentioned to you I still need the nut for the clutch cable. I need to get the throttle cable hooked up, and but otherwise we're basically there. What can I say? Anyway, let's get on with it. Well, that's it. We're in. So everything underneath is tightened up, all engine mounts and everything all tight. Basically it's just connecting everything up. So I think I'm going to go and grab some lunch. It's about 2. I've been out here since about 7. So took longer than I'd hoped, but it doesn't matter, it's in. Anyway, yeah. I'm not going to do anything with the bumper today. The main thing is I just want to get everything hooked up. I might put the drive shafts on as well. I don't know. I'll just see how the rest of the day just plays out. You know, I'll just see how we get on. But yeah, I'm really happy. I do like those pipes. So I mustn't. I'm just a sucker for quad pipes on the back of vehicles, and they just look phenomenal on there. So yeah, precisely. So yeah, let's go and have some lunch. So I am having a major freaking problem with the throttle cable. The tube that it runs through, where it runs through the airbox and everything. I've got it all the way through, but there's a little bulkhead just up here that has got to go through, and I cannot get the damn thing to line up. Yeah, I've tried like threading some cable through. I've tried wiggling it about. I mean, I've tried all sorts, and I cannot get it to pass through. What seems to be happening is it's sitting lower down than it needs to be, so the pipe needs to bend up, but I can't get it to bend up. So it's just making it an absolute friggin' nightmare. Everything else, it's all buttoned up. Yeah, that is the only thing. I mean, there's a throttle cable just waggling around there. So, yeah, I didn't expect this to be the problem. Well, I guess the secret is just get out and complain about it on camera, and then it just pops straight in. Well, whatever. I've got the nut for the alternator, by the way. Anyway, yeah, let's get back under there and start hooking up everything else. So eventually we got the gear linkage hooked up. That was being a right pain. But I'm not sure. Yeah, got a lot of movement there, and it's not in the actual linkage itself. So, and I know this can be adjusted here. So, yeah, I'll come back to this later. But it's in. Trying to think of. I think that's everything now under the vehicle hooked up. So I've played around with this gear selector, and I cannot get it. I think it's just too worn. So see how it just. So yeah. Anyway, what I've done is I've ordered a new rod that it's at the front of this and the pin, and it should hopefully cure that. Fingers crossed. Yeah, I think it's just had it. You know, I think it's just too old and it's just needs replaced. Okay. Half shafts, yeah. I'm going to put the half shafts in now, but one thing I had to do was to buy a couple of additional bolts, because the kit that I bought they had the universal joints and the boots and everything. That's the brand there. Anyway, when I got into the kits, I realised we were missing 2 bolts. So I did pirate one out of the old universal joints, but these are not expensive, so I thought, you know what, instead of just using one old bolt, let's just buy a couple of new ones. So now we have everything laid out. So yeah, there's let's just get the joints put on. I mean, they're pretty straightforward. In an earlier video I mentioned these circlips. Yeah, they do come with a kit. Thankfully everything was in with them, so I'm quite happy with that. I don't have to go tracking these down, but I did actually keep the old ones anyway, just in case, when I dismantled everything. But yeah, other than the bolts, everything is here, and yeah, it seems to be a overall decent kit. Yeah, it says steering boot on there, but there's no steering boots. These are all axle boot kits. Anyway, I digress. Let's get on with it. That's it. They are now all complete. I can get those on. One thing to be aware of, you do not need to be scared of getting greasy putting these things together. I'm using the Molly grease there, and yeah. But it's done. Obviously, I've got it sitting on here because that's clean. I don't want to get any grime or dirt or anything into the bearings, into the joints. So yeah, we'll get it slid under and we'll get them installed, and then we'll move on to the next thing. Well, there we go. Drive shafts are now in. Another milestone ticked off. It is, yeah, it's been a long time since this van's seen any drivetrain sitting in the back here, and it's all exciting stuff. We still need the adjustment nut for the clutch cable. I'll leave this up on these ramps until I have that, because it'll just make it so much easier to put it in, because I can just slide straight under. The mechanism for the clutch is on order. I've just had an email from them about 20 minutes ago to say that'll be here either tomorrow or the next day, which will be, what day is it today? I don't even know anymore. A couple of days anyway. So I think what I'm just going to do is just carry on and just get everything I can hooked up. I've got most of the electrical hooked up now. There's a couple of connections I needed to check, but I now know where they go, so I'll get them done. Now, one thing I have not done yet, I have not put the little spreader plates on the universal joint, the CV joints yet. I don't have them all, and looking at the condition of the ones I do have, I've decided that I'm just going to replace them all. So everything's nipped up, but it's not torqued down. So once I get them, then I'll do that. But the shafts are on. Yeah, they're on and out of the way now, so it'll just be quite an easy job just to pop the bolts back out, put the spreader plates on and torque it back up again. So that I'm not too concerned about. Right, I think I might as well get the throttle and everything all hooked up. I should be able to squeeze under the front there, I think, to hook the cable up. But let's get the pedal and everything put in first, and then we can come up, get it hooked up there, get it connected up to the engine, and then we're virtually there. I do want to put some gas in the tank, just to make sure that there's no leaks. I mean, there wasn't, but I like to be sure anyway. So yeah, let's get this throttle cable done first anyway. So hopefully in this video we will get things wrapped up, but the main thing I want to do at the moment is get this throttle pedal set up. So I'm actually making a bracket for it, because when the floor was originally repaired by the previous owner or whoever did the work on it, they actually cut the mounting point off for the accelerator pedal. So I'm actually making one here. Basically what I've done is just a flat piece of steel. I've kind of cut an H shape in it, and this I'm going to bend over and make a loop so that the pin for the pedal can actually go through. I'm not sure yet whether I'm going to weld this to the floor or whether I'm just going to rivet it or screw it. I mean, it's a throttle pedal, it's not like it's taking a lot of force, so but let's get the bracket made first and then we'll figure it out from there. So what I'm basically doing is like I said, I've cut like an H, well, half an H shape. Just got a screwdriver shaft clamped in there, and I'm just bending this over, and I just want to make like a nice loop that the pedal can sit on, and then the pin will go through. Starting to get there now. These tabs will be cut shorter, of course, but yeah. So what I'll eventually do is I want to bring this around and then flat. That's the idea. But yeah, this'll work. Like I say, I'm not sure whether I'm going to rivet it or weld it, but either way, it'll work. So getting it to bend the rest of the way is actually proven to be the most difficult part, but I've got it wedged in the vise here. So as I crimp the vise up. I'm hoping that it'll actually just nip this up nicely. And obviously I need to get the screwdriver out, but yeah, I think this is going to work. It's getting closer. I think what I need to do is just tap this down a little bit with a hammer, because it is kind of pushing it up a little bit as I squeeze the vise. And there we go. Yeah, it's going to work nice. Yeah, that'll work perfectly, that. But like I say, I'll trim these back a bit. But yeah, that's going to do fine. Should have actually peeled the tape off before I bent it over, but you know, whatever. So I'm having to modify it a little bit. Basically, I need this raised up just a touch. But yeah, it's coming along. Okay, that's better. Yeah. Okay, I've just painted the base and everything of the pedals, so I'm letting that dry. But while I'm doing that, I've just put the vacuum line in for the brake booster. I'm hooked on something. There we go. Yeah, that's still. I've just got that to nip up there, but that's in. I have put the vacuum line on. Now, obviously, this distributor does not have a vacuum advance on it, so I'll block that for now. I am replacing that distributor. This is just temporary because I know it works. What else? Throttle cable hooked up. I do have to actually loosen that off for a moment because I need to drill the holes for the mounting bracket for the pedal. And what I need to do is I need to be able to lay the pedal flat on the floor so that I can work out roughly where it needs to go. So that does need to be loosened back off. Cables are all in. I've still got these to hook up. This, I believe, goes to the alternator. These three are not actually used on this van, so this red, I will be using that. I do have some plans for that. This all goes to the fan that is usually up here. This van doesn't have it, so I don't need them. One of these grounds, these are actually two grounds. I think it's this one here, the brown with the white trace. I am going to use that to power the fog lights. So, oh, and I've still got the nut to tighten up on the alternator pulley. So there's still a few little things to do in here, but yeah, definitely moving along. I've also put some fuel in just to double check to make sure there's no fuel leaks. I do have to time it because I forgot to tighten the distributor up and I've moved it. Yeah, great. That's just the vent pipes up there. I know these actually go to the intake manifold, not the intake manifold, the come on, air cleaner box. I'm probably going to put them in. I may as well. I mean, it's not going to do any harm, and I've actually got the pipe work to do that. So, and also the breather from the engine, which is behind the filler cap there. I do also have the pipe for that. So I'll probably just put them in towards the end. I want everything running first, but yeah, I'm going to grab a wrench, tighten that up, and yeah, continue moving along. By then the pedal should be dry, so I should be able to get that installed. And there we go. I am just going to rivet it down, I think. But yeah, that turned out all right, that. Yeah, so we now have a gas pedal. There we go, it'll sit in there something like that. Obviously it will be higher, but yeah, that's going to work fine, that. Okay, pedals there. I need to adjust it a little bit because it is hitting that, but and I do need a spring on it because it's not returning it very well, but we do have a pedal there. Ah, it's moved. It moved while I was putting it in, but that's all right. I can adjust it again. Just a little bit there. Anyway, yeah, we're kind of almost there. So I don't have a battery for this just yet. Oh, there go. Oh, whatever. I don't have a battery for this just yet. So what I've done is I've just put a post here that I can put a jump lead to, and bring the other one to there, so that I can just connect this big old battery up that I've got. I actually need to take some measurements. Heading off to the auto jumble swap meet this weekend, so I might just have a look around, see if I can pick one up there. There's usually a couple of guys there. They get more retro style batteries. I'll see if one of them's there. But yeah, we're just about not that far off being able to kick this over. I need to get that tucked up out of the way. This harness is set up for a voltage regulator. I don't actually need one on here. Not a voltage regulator. Yeah, voltage regulator for the alternator. This alternator has a built-in one, so I don't need to mess about with that. However, it does mean that the cable is a bit wayward, so I do have to sort that out. I might just actually cut it back a bit into the loom. Either that, or that's where the other end, just in there, just there, that connects to the, or should connect to the voltage regulator. It basically loops the voltage regulator, then loops off onto here. So yeah, don't need any of that, so it'll probably get cut out. But for the time being, it's okay just there. Okay, everything's hooked up here. Deep breath, just make sure nothing's gonna catch on there. That'll be all right there for the minute. Yeah, we're good, everything's clear. Put the keys out here. We're close. His battery is really weak though. So, I think what I might do is put a little bit of extra ignition into that, and then we will come back to it. So I'll put just a touch of timing into it, see what happens here. God, we're close. Yeah, we'll put a little bit more gas now in the carb and try her again. Okay, here we go again. Let's get. I'll put the charger on for 20 minutes, see if we can get some life into that battery. Yeah, I've just popped this line off and we do not have any fuel through here. We should have had some by now. Yeah, I wonder if this tank is being a bit stupid again. Yeah, let's have a play around with this. Yeah, got fuel. But yeah, just like 90 iron. Yeah, we got fuel. Just like 95 octane. Low ethanol. Yeah. Wow. We'll be tasting that for the rest of the night. So, fuel's getting up there. We'll double check the electrical connections on that carb. That fuel shut off, make sure I'm getting power to that. And yeah, obviously, let's see if I can find a better vacuum line than this, because this is just, I need a couple of those little stoppers for these. Yeah, this vacuum line I've got's just had it. Let's see what I can find for that. I know I've got some more around of, yeah. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what they're for. I think that they are something to do with the emissions on the US versions. But I could be wrong about that. I'm not 100% sure. But all of the UK ones I've seen have got those just blanking plugs. I need to get some. I'm going to Newark swap meet auto jumble this week, so there's a guy there usually has loads of different things like that, so I'll grab a box while I'm there. But they're never coming wrong. I want the little silicone ones though, because the rubber ones do tend to perish after a while. Anyway, that's not getting me moving along, is it? Hey. Well, I think it's safe to say the battery's done. Well, it's not exactly how I wanted to end this day, but it is what it is. I desperately need a battery. I need to get one. I'm going to a swap meet. I need to pick one up there, because obviously this is just, it's not spinning the engine over, and I'm really at that point where I think I'm probably just fighting a losing battle here tonight. So sadly, I think this is where day 2 comes to an end. Yeah, I'd like to have seen this running, but obviously that's not going to happen. So, yeah, stay tuned for day 3. And yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good one.